Stop for a moment and think about the last time you felt drained in a crowd, yet restless when alone. I have spent years immersed in Carl Jung's work, and what I have found is that this delicate balance between solitude and connection is deeply rooted in our unconscious psyche, a discovery Jung himself emphasized as central to psychological health. You see, Jung observed through his patients that our need for solitude or social interaction is not just about mood or preference, but signals a profound inner dynamic playing out within each of us. Recognizing when to seek one over the other is a pivotal skill for maintaining emotional equilibrium and fostering individuation, Jung's term for the lifelong journey of self-realization. In my research of Jung's writings and clinical cases, I have found that people often struggle because they misunderstand their underlying inner tension. They mistake restlessness for loneliness or introversion for withdrawal, missing the complex interplay of their conscious and unconscious needs that Jung so carefully documented. This confusion can spiral into stress, anxiety, and a sense of disconnection, which is why Jung highlighted the urgency of developing self-awareness through the language of symbols, dreams, and moods to discern what the psyche truly demands at any given moment. To understand Jung's insight more deeply, put yourself in the situation where your spirit feels fragmented, neither nourished by solitude nor energized by company. Jung taught that this is the moment when your unconscious signals a need for integration. He observed many patients whose emotional suffering stemmed from an imbalance. For example, an extroverted person overwhelmed by relentless social engagement who found healing only by retreating into solitude and introspection. Or an introverted individual suffering from isolation who recovered through meaningful social connection. I recall one fascinating case Jung described where a patient repeatedly avoided groups but in dreams was chased by shadowy figures representing unacknowledged parts of their personality. This symbolized a deeper conflict beyond mere social anxiety. This story reveals how Jung believed our internal world ultimately guides the external behavior we should embrace at different times. The key concept from Jung's psychology here is that our psyche is composed of multiple complexes, each emerging with distinct energy and demands. Sometimes, our inner dynamics call us towards solitude to process, heal, and integrate these complexes. Other times, the psyche pushes us toward others to affirm our existence and recalibrate our social identity. Jung's revolutionary idea was that neither solitude nor connection alone suffices for psychological health. Rather, the individuation process involves moving fluidly between these poles, listening attentively to what your unconscious communicates through feelings, dreams, or bodily sensations. Throughout his career, Jung developed practical methods to help patients achieve this balance. He encouraged practices such as active imagination, where you consciously engage the symbols and images arising in your inner life to uncover what solitude or connection you need. By journaling your moods and noting recurring dream themes about crowds or isolation, you can cultivate an inner dialogue to clarify your needs. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to accept that this process is not instantaneous, but a gradual attunement to your deeper self, much like tuning a musical instrument. For example, you might discover that after periods of intense work or emotional upheaval, your unconscious demands solitude to assimilate experiences, while after reflective quietude, you feel an urge for renewed social engagement. I have seen modern individuals use such Jungian techniques to transform their relationships and emotional health by honoring these rhythms rather than suppressing or ignoring them. To begin applying Jung's approach, start small. Create a practice of mindful self-observation each day. Record feelings of loneliness, restlessness, or energy shifts and explore their connection to your recent experiences. Experiment with planned solitude, such as walks in nature or moments of meditation, noting how your psyche responds. Equally, schedule intentional social interactions and observe whether they replenish or exhaust you. Over time, you'll tune in to the silent messages your unconscious conveys through mood fluctuations and dreams, learning to choose solitude when it represents a call towards healing and connection when it serves affirmation and growth. Remember, Jung firmly believed in human potential for wholeness, and by embracing both solitude and connection consciously, you embark on an authentic path towards psychological integration and self-discovery. To conclude with what Jung ultimately wanted us to grasp, your psyche is your most intimate guide, and discerning when to seek solitude versus connection is a vital conversation you can cultivate with it. When you honor this inner dialogue, you unlock the power to navigate life's emotional tides with grace and resilience. Tomorrow, we will explore what role does the body play in psychological integration, a question that builds directly on today's insights, since our bodily sensations often give us the earliest clues about our need for solitude or social contact. Jung's insights into the body-mind connection are essential for deepening this self-awareness and enhancing psychological harmony. I am thrilled to continue this journey with you, so please like, comment with your experiences about solitude and connection, and subscribe to keep unfolding Jung's teachings together. Trust me, you won't want to miss tomorrow's exploration, as it will offer foundational knowledge for the next step in your Jungian path.